If you've ever done any work in the Adobe Connect Content Library, you're probably familiar with how easy it is to deploy content for others to view using this great feature. I find, however, that a lot of people misunderstand how the content library is supposed to work. When first exposed to Connect, people seem to get the idea that the end user is going to be browsing through this interface. Uh, no. In the content library, each item has its own URL, and that's how people view the content from the URL we give them. But you say, I don't want to have to deal with sending so many URLs to so many people. I'd rather just send everyone to one place and let them select the items they want to view. Okay, we can do that. Have you noticed that when you upload content to the content library, one of the acceptable file types is HTML? So what we do is create an HTML page that lists all of the content we want people to have access to. I'll show you how I did it. First, in the content library, I have this set of learning units for Adobe Presenter. I'll use these for my example. Before I do anything else, I need to set permissions for the parent folder for all of these items so they all have the same permissions. Next, I open Dreamweaver. You can use any editor you like. I like Dreamweaver, so that's what I'll use. I'll create a new HTML document and save it as index.html. Now I want to copy all of these items to Dreamweaver. But notice that when I select them, I get all these additional columns, which I don't need. Also, each of these titles is a link to the information page for that item here in the content library. And if I copy directly to Dreamweaver, the links are going to be copied too. And I don't want that. So rather than going directly to Dreamweaver, I'll go to Notepad first to clean up the text. Now, I'll copy my cleaned up text and paste it into my HTML document. This next part is a little tedious. I need to turn each of these titles into a link using the link that would allow my users to view the presentation. If you want the table of contents to stay on the screen, you'll want to set the target to _blank to open a new window or tab for viewing the presentation. Then we just repeat the process for each of the titles. After setting all of the links, I'll just add some additional formatting and call it good enough. Now I'll upload this HTML file to the same folder where I have my training materials. And if I view this page, I get a table of contents for all of the learning units in this folder. Nice. So I only have to send my students the one URL, the one for the table of contents, and they'll have access to all of my Adobe Presenter training materials. They don't have to try to browse inside Adobe Connect. Here's something else you may find interesting. You can actually create a fairly complex series of web pages and deploy them in the Adobe Connect Content Library. All you have to do is package them into a single zip file. In this example, I'm going to add an image first. I saved my image to an images folder in the same directory as my HTML file. Now I'll add that to the page. I could just as easily add more pages as well. For example, a page for Adobe Presenter training, another page for Captivate training, and a third page for Adobe Connect training. I can add navigation to my pages so the users can select any of the pages. Next, I'll create a content package by zipping the HTML documents and the image folder into the same zip file. I'll upload that to the content library, and there you have it. A nice page with an image and navigation to other pages with their images. Using this methodology, you can create a really nice system of pages and subpages to expose the content in the content library. And you don't have to have any additional websites or web servers. Just use Adobe Connect. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you need any additional help or training for Adobe Connect, you can contact us using the info on the screen.